Good morning, guys. This is Misty D. Bell, your local real estate agent with my home group. So today, again, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm trying to develop a YouTube channel that will have some quality information that will help you either with buying a home or selling a home. So today, what I'm going to go over is how to buy a house and the house buying process in 10 steps. So I'll give you a brief description of what those steps are, and then we'll move on to a little bit more in detail. So step one is you want to make sure you check your credit score. Step two is determine how much you can afford. Step three would be choose a lender and get pre-approved for a mortgage. Super important. A lot of times people want to skip that step, start looking at homes, fall in love with the home, and it ends up sometimes being a heartbreaking situation when you can't afford it or you just don't qualify for that home. So definitely get pre-approved in advance. The next step would be to find a real estate agent. I am available. You know how to reach me. Of course, my phone number will be at the end of this video. Step five would be start the search for a home, and that process can sometimes be lengthy. Sometimes it's quick. Sometimes you find the perfect house right away and all the stars are aligned and it's amazing. But most of the time, it's a lengthy, stressful process because there's a lot involved in it. But luckily, when you have a real estate agent that knows what they're doing, they'll take good care of you. So it's least amount of stress as possible. Then you find the house and you make an offer. And that's a detailed process as well that your real estate agent will take care of all of the steps of the contract, the negotiations, all of that. So and then the next step would be to get a home inspection and to get a home appraisal if appropriate. Very important steps as well. A lot of times people will think, well, I'll just skip the home inspection. It looks great. However, that's not always the case, and you don't want to be surprised with something that is an extreme financial disaster. So again, your real estate agent should step in and say, hey, it's a good idea to get an inspection. And then once you've done all those steps, which of course I'm cutting out some steps here, will be to purchase your homeowner's insurance. Also extremely important, especially if you have a loan, of course it's required, but even if you don't have a loan, you want to have homeowner's insurance. Buying a home is a big investment. It's a big step, and you want to make sure that there is adequate protection in the event something should go wrong. And then the next step would be to do a final walkthrough. Now, that's not always an option. Sometimes when you put in an offer on a house, they don't allow a final walkthrough, which is kind of crazy to me, but sometimes that is the situation, and we can find some ways around that. So, and then step 10 would be to close on your new lovely home. That's the exciting part when we get to hand over the keys and you get to start your new chapter. Now, that was a quick, brief explanation of the 10 steps. So let's get into it a little bit more deeper. So first, when it comes to checking your credit score, before you begin the home buying process, you want to make sure that you actually are in a position to be buying a house and all that it entails. So that first step is to do your research. You want to check your credit score, and really you want to check your credit score regularly and make sure that if there's anything on there that you take care of it as soon as possible. You want to review your finances, and a lender can help with this as well. But the next step would be to research different areas. Before you buy a house, you want to know exactly where you want to live. You want to make a list of areas you're considering moving to and then research them. And if you have children, you want to research the school districts, you want to research the area, do a drive-by, drive around the neighborhoods and just get an idea of what area really excites you, what area feels comfortable and safe. And then the next is, your credit score to buy a house. We'll go back to that. So securing financing, it's not always easy, unfortunately. Mortgage lenders will request a credit report based on information that they found. They'll use your credit score and your financial history to qualify you for a home loan. It's important to be one step ahead of your mortgage lender. Before you even start that process, you should have already researched this and get a good idea of where you stand on your finances. And then we can go in more to, lenders and resources for lenders. I can definitely help with that as well. The next step would be to determine how much you can afford. So when it comes to that, you want to base it on obviously how much do you have in debt, how much do you have based on your gross monthly income with your housing costs, the areas that you're looking to move into. You want to find out, what does it cost to live in that area? What are the prices of water or power? Just average prices, really important to know. And then when it comes to your home as well, typically, experts will recommend spending no more than 30% of your gross monthly income on housing cost. And that includes, the principal, which is the money you borrowed to purchase your home, the interest. This is the fee that your lender charges you to borrow the funds, and then taxes. So amazingly, taxes have gone up tremendously in all areas. So it's kind of shocking. So you want to definitely make sure that when you find the right house or a house you're interested in, that you're researching the property taxes. And then also the cost of insurance. Any insurance company or agency can provide you a quote based on a home that you're interested in. You just reach out to them and provide the specifics, and they can research the rest and give you a price. And then if there's HOAs or association fees of any kind, you'll want to research that and see if it fits into the budget. And then the next thing you'll want to do is down payment and closing costs. Now, understanding what you're responsible for paying and when is a crucial to a smooth home buying process. You really want to speak with your real estate agent and your lender to determine what upfront costs you will have as well. So closing costs can sometimes be pretty expensive, and people are not always expecting what comes with that. So researching that with your lender is also something very important to keep in mind when it comes to the final cost of purchasing a home. And then choosing that lender and getting that pre-approval for a mortgage is also super important. So in that, you'll want to make sure that you have a couple of options. You want to interview your lenders. You want to see what's available. Once they pull your credit, you have a little bit more options that aren't going to hurt you as much if you wanted to check out a couple of different lenders and see what it is that they have to offer. You'll want to get, just different loan estimates, and like I said, see what it is that they are going to make available to you. So buying a house is long and often a complicated journey. So it's essential to find a lender that you can trust and to make that process as simple and convenient as possible. And then the getting approved part, well, contrary to what popular belief, getting pre-qualified for a loan does not guarantee that you'll be able to obtain a loan. Moreover, not all qualifications are equal. When you get pre-approved in the traditional sense, lenders only estimate your finances based on the information you've provided. So it's very important to provide all necessary information, be upfront and truthful with your lender, because this can affect your loan process and pre-approval greatly. So a lot that goes into pre-approvals, and that's where your trusted lender is going to take really good care of you, and they'll pair up with your real estate agent and make sure that everybody's also on the same page. Then the next step is to find a real estate agent. Now, technically, you can find a real estate agent in the beginning if you like, because that gives you time to build a relationship with your real estate agent, as well as they do have a lot of resources available to help you to get on the process of your new journey to finding a home loan, finding a house. They definitely have resources available, but we're going to assume that you're at the step now. So finding a real estate agent is, it's very important to make sure that you do your research on the agent and see if their personality matches yours. If it seems that they're very approachable, that they answer you when you have questions, that they take good care of you. How many clients are they working with? Are they going to be available? How knowledgeable are they about the desired areas? Are they willing to provide references? These are all important things to look for in an agent. But again, I'm available, so you can definitely reach out to me and I will take good care of you. And then once you've done that, then you really get to start the home search process, which is the fun part for most of my clients. So It's also stressful, like I said before, because there's a lot involved with the home search, a lot to keep in mind. But you want to tour the different areas, like we talked about. You want to make sure that you know what areas, neighborhoods that you're interested in, as well as you're going to want to do the research on your home. What size of a home, what style, what physical condition are you looking for, the neighborhoods? What's the commute look like? Everybody knows that the commute is super important when it comes to purchasing a home. Because if you have to drive too far to your work, it doesn't matter how amazing your house is, commute can make it miserable. So that's very important to research as well. And then if you have children, you want to do the research in the schools. Of course, you want the best schools for your children. And then the next step after that, once you've found the perfect neighborhoods and the areas you want to start your search in, we start looking for homes. We find the perfect home for you. And at that point, that's when we do serious discussions and we figure out our plan of attack, if you will, and we make an offer. And then your real estate agent, again, me, will do all of the negotiating, the contracts, all that's necessary to go into that offer to make sure that that dream house can become a reality for you. And then, of course, with that paperwork comes contingencies, mortgage contingencies, home sale contingencies, inspections. Um, you want to make sure that there is everything put in place that will keep you safe and allow you an opportunity to back out if it doesn't meet the needs of all of those things mentioned. Then there will be earnest money deposit. So this is the deposit that you put down that lets the seller know that you are very much interested in this house and you're vested. So you're putting in money on the table to let them know that yes, this is the house that you want. So that's also something that we have to consider. And then the next step would be to get a home inspection, get an appraisal, get that home checked from top to bottom and make sure that there's no financial disasters waiting for you. Because once you've purchased the home, well, you own it. So you also own any issues that come with it, which can be scary. But if you do the proper inspection, you should be fine. And that's pretty important. Sometimes people will waive the inspection, but it's really, really important for your real estate agent to explain to you why it's important to have an inspection. Home appraisal is not always necessary, but sometimes when it comes to a loan, they want to make sure that the loan to, the value of the home is correct. And so they will require that you have a home appraisal. Again, that's up to your real estate agent as well to help with that. And then your next step is to purchase homeowners insurance. So like I said before, you put a lot into a purchase of a home. It's a very big investment. It's a huge decision, and you want to make sure that all of your assets are protected. And I have plenty of referrals for home insurance, and I have lots of advice when it comes to that, as I did insurance for many years. And so definitely have the experience there as well. And then the next step would be to do the final walkthrough. And like I said, sometimes at this point in the home buying process, once you've made an offer, a lot of sellers will not allow a final walkthrough, which is odd. But like I said, also there's ways around that. So we can definitely look at doing, a final walkthrough. It typically takes place about 1 to 2 days before the closing. We just want to ensure that, any agreed upon repairs have been completed, that the house is in the same, looks the same as it did when you went and took a look at it. There's, no surprises. So we want to make sure that that is as well. And then the final step is to close on your home. This is the high stress time for your real estate agent. But luckily for you, we're trained for this and we actually enjoy this process, believe it or not. We enjoy negotiating and making this home become a reality for you. So during that closing process, the property title will pass from the seller to you. A closing agent or an escrow agent will oversee this process, and it typically takes place at a title company or a management firm or an escrow office, but really they've been doing a lot more of the electronic signatures as well. Um, and then there is two primary responsibilities that you have as a buyer, and that is to get those signing those legal documentation for the closing disclosure, the promissory note, the deed of trust, and the certificate of occupancy. And then you have to pay those closing costs. Nobody likes the closing cost, however, that is part of that process. So that may include fees for your mortgage application, your appraisal, your survey, your title search, and then of course paying your down payment as well. So the bottom line is this kind of helps to understand the home buying process before you buy. And I'm open to any questions that you might have. Please reach out to me at any time. Email is mistybell4u@gmail.com. And my phone number is 425-773-5929. I hope you found this information useful. I'm looking forward to working with you, and have a fantastic day today, guys.